SoftBank bought out of 21 after one beat up Bitcoin Treasury bet Japanese investment firm. SoftBank has been bought out of its position in 21, the Bitcoin Treasury vehicle co-founded by Tether, according to a report from Decrypt on May 21, 2026. SoftBank had committed close to $1 billion to the venture, making this one of the largest single investor exits from a corporate Bitcoin Treasury vehicle to date. Bitcoin traded at 77,735 as of May 21, 2026, up 0.4% on the day, but down 2.4% over the past week, according to live CoinMarketCap data. The Fear and Greed Index sat at 41, in neutral territory. A roughly $1 billion bet that has now changed hands. 21, launched in 2024 as a publicly traded vehicle whose primary purpose is accumulating and holding Bitcoin on a corporate balance sheet, a structure pioneered by Strategy's continuous BTC purchases. It was co-founded by Tether, the issuer of the USDT stablecoin, alongside Cantor Fitzgerald and Bitfinex, and SoftBank participated as a major equity backer. Decrypt's reporting describes SoftBank as having been bought out of the position, rather than selling on the open market. That phrasing implies a single counterparty or consortium took the stake off SoftBank's books in a negotiated transaction. The identity of the buyer was not disclosed in the initial report. For context, $1 billion deployed at 21's launch-era Bitcoin price would translate into a position worth meaningfully less today at the current $77,735 spot level. The full mark-to-market impact on SoftBank depends on the entry point and the structure of the buyout, neither of which has been confirmed publicly. SoftBank's pattern of bold tech bets and equally bold exits, SoftBank's Vision Fund, has cycled through high-conviction positions in tech and frontier sectors for the better part of a decade, often entering at scale and exiting in lump sums when strategy shifts. A near $1 billion check into a Bitcoin proxy fit the firm's appetite for outsized bets on emerging asset classes. But the early exit suggests SoftBank's view on the trade has changed. Bitcoin Treasury vehicles have multiplied since Strategy popularized the model. As Bernstein recently noted, Bitcoin miners alone hold $90 billion in AI infrastructure deals and $27 of power. The corporate balance sheet thesis around BTC is no longer novel, which may have reduced the scarcity premium SoftBank was originally underwriting. It is also worth noting that BTC has slid through May, with the 7-day move negative against a backdrop of geopolitical risk and policy pressure on risk assets. A negotiated exit in a softer tape may have offered SoftBank a cleaner outcome than incremental selling. 21's structure and Tether's role. 21 was set up specifically to hold Bitcoin, not to operate a business that incidentally owns Bitcoin. The vehicle uses public market access to raise capital and convert it into BTC, similar to how Strategy has built its 843.738 BTC stack. Tether's involvement gave the firm balance sheet credibility from one of the largest non-bank holders of U.S. Treasuries in the world, while Bitfinex contributed liquidity infrastructure and Cantor Fitzgerald brought institutional brokerage relationships. A clean SoftBank exit does not change the underlying mechanics of 21. The Bitcoin the firm holds remains on its balance sheet, and the operating thesis is intact. What changes is the cap table and the signaling value of having a marquee global investor like SoftBank on the equity stack. Implications for the corporate BTC Treasury narrative. The story matters less for what it says about 21 specifically, and more for what it signals about institutional appetite for concentrated Bitcoin proxies. If SoftBank concluded that direct BTC exposure, ETF allocations, or other vehicles deliver a better risk-adjusted profile, that is a useful data point for other large allocators weighing similar positions. On the other hand, the fact that a buyer was found and willing to absorb a roughly $1 billion stake suggests there is still institutional demand for vehicle-style BTC exposure, even at current prices. The trade simply rotated from one large holder to another.